Welcome to the print reporter direct. We are in Vijay Chowk and Delhi goes to polls tomorrow with Haryana as well. This episode of Reporter Direct is about the elections in Delhi and Haryana. And before we dive into the questions and answers, a few of us will give you a brief overview of how things stand politically in Delhi and Haryana a day before the elections. So to talk about Delhi, Delhi was essentially a bipolar polity till 2013. So the Congress and the BJP were the two dominant parties. Then came the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, riding on the back of the India Against Corruption movement. It formed government in 2013 along with the Congress. It did not lasted barely 49 days. In 2015, again, Aam Aadmi Party came back with a stupendous majority of 67 seats out of 70 seats in the assembly. And in 2019, it repeated its performance. But at the same time, BJP, despite not being able to capture the Delhi state since 1998, has been doing rather well in the Lok Sabha elections. In 2014 and 2019, it won all the 7 seats in the capital. So this time, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress are campaigning and are fighting together. They are in an alliance. They are a part of the India bloc. So the Congress, as part of the understanding, as part of the seat sharing, has fielded candidates in 3 seats and the Aam Aadmi Party in 4 seats in Delhi. And the Aam Aadmi Party has also fielded a candidate in Kurukshetra of Haryana as part of the same seat sharing. So yeah, Sushil ji will give you this overview of Haryana.
So I am in Gurugram, Haryana. So Haryana sends 10 MPs to Parliament. Last time in 2019, riding on national emotions after Pulwama attack and Balakot strikes, BJP made a clean sweep. But this time, however, the things are different. During our visits to various constituencies of Haryana, we found that there is a contest on all the 10 seats. As Saurabh told that in Haryana also, Congress is contesting in alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party, and Aam Aadmi Party has fielded Sushil Gupta from Kurukshetra against Naveen Jindal. So there are all kinds of issues now, as Agniveer is one issue, unemployment is another issue, farmers' unrest, then this female wrestlers' protest. These are all issues, and particularly so in the Jat heartland of Rohtak, Hisar, Bhiwani, Jhajjar, Sonipat. So in this election, we have seen that the election is highly polarized on caste lines. So these are all factors which, when voters go for the voting on 25th, I think we'll see all these coming out in results also. So besides the election to 10 parliamentary seats, there is a by-election for Karnal assembly seat also. This seat was vacated by Manohar Lal Khattar after he resigned as CM, and Naib Singh Saini took over. Now Naib Singh Saini is contesting from Karnal assembly seat. The Congress has fielded Tarlochan Singh against him. So that will also be very interesting to watch. So the question was whether Raj Babbar is being perceived as an outsider. So of course his opponents, we interviewed Rahul Yadav Fazilpuria, who is a JGP candidate. He also said that he's an outsider. Rao Inderjit Singh is also projecting him as an outsider, that he is not from Gurgaon. What will he do for the people of Gurgaon? But as far as these film stars are concerned, we have seen that film stars have contested from constituencies outside their own states. So I'm not commenting on what will be his, future, whether he'll win or not. But of course, his opponents are projecting him as an outsider.
So I have a question on, are the cadre of AAP and Indian National Congress coordinating well at the field level? what are the chances of the votes of these two parties getting transferred to one another? The question is from Abhijit Salkar. So now, firstly, for any alliance to do well, vote transfer is essential for any alliance to be successful. So the alliance between AAP and Congress in Delhi is no exception. What makes it particularly challenging is the history of these two parties. The rise of the AAP was on the ashes of the Congress in Delhi. This is where the AAP took birth. It was established in 2012, right after the Anna Hazare movement. The UPA government, there were many other factors behind its downfall. This was among the factors, which is, largely accepted. After the AAP obviously morphed into a political party, and it ended up having a stupendous performance in the first assembly polls in its debut. So, but still, the AAP and the Congress had this arrangement in the assembly, which did not really last. It lasted merely for 49 days, and the Kejriwal government fell. Since then, and the time when these two parties came together this time, they have been fighting with it. Already been reduced to a marginal player in Delhi. So Congress, organizationally, Congress has virtually no presence. It had no seats in 2015 assembly polls. It had no seats in 2020 assembly polls. So obviously, Congress has very little cadre left, so to say. There is an exception in 2019 Lok Sabha polls. Congress did better than AAP in terms of vote share in Delhi. And that was a real surprise. And Congress did also rather well in the municipal polls, only in Muslim-dominated pockets in Delhi, in Northeast Delhi, and certain parts of Central Delhi. Otherwise, the Congress has very little presence, negligible presence in Delhi. What makes a collaboration a successful collaboration rather important for these is seats like Chandni Chowk, seats like Northeast Delhi, where Congress continues to have some presence due to the presence of Muslims. A large number of Muslims. So there, initially, when Kejriwal was in jail, when these two parties started campaigning jointly, there were some hiccups. In terms of some local Congress leader refusing to campaign for, or vice versa. So those were the hiccups initially. Or even, say, Aam Aadmi Party leaders willing to campaign for a certain Congress candidate, but that candidate's team saying, let's not. Let's campaign, let's mount these joint campaigns towards the end of the last leg of the campaigning, lest the campaign peaks rather early. So let's avoid that. So after Keith on interim bail, he tried to iron out these glitches. He had meetings with his padadhikaris, his office bearers, district level office bearers. He sent out a clear message that, there is no room for fighting anymore. We are the product of circumstances. Look at the circumstances now. This is a question of survival. So we need to survive. Even if you want to fight with each other in the future, for that you need to be here. You need to survive. This is an existential question. So yeah, towards the end, there was some degree of coordination between the two parties, no doubt. Yeah. Sushilji, would you like to take over?
Yes, there was a question by Mr. Sridharan Iyer. Do you see BJP winning more seats from Haryana in comparison to Congress in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, despite farmers' anger, wrestlers' protest, and new incident? Is unemployment a big issue among people, and can it impact the elections? So this was the question. So first of all, we can't comment how many seats BJP will win or how many seats Congress will win. But at the same time, I can say that when we went to Haryana in 2019, that was a different seat because of Balakot airstrike and Pulwama attack. there were sentiments, people cutting across caste lines, cutting across areas. They were voting for the BJP. But this times the situation is different. There is a clear contest between BJP and Congress everywhere. Although INLD and JJP, they have also fielded their candidates, and there are independents also. But the contest is bipolar everywhere, almost everywhere. So the issues you cited, yes, farmer anger is there, particularly in the Jat heartland and the Sikh areas close to Punjab. Wrestlers protest, that is also an issue. No incident is also an issue. Anti-incumbency against Khattar government. Now Naib Singh Saini is the chief minister, but Khattar was CM till March. So there is anti-incumbency. Also there is, this Agniveer scheme for the recruitment to army. This is also a big issue in Haryana this time. So all these issues are there, but whether BJP will get more seats than Congress or vice versa, we can't comment on that.
Right. So I have a question on the prospect of Kanhaiya Kumar specifically in Northeast Delhi, and the prospect of other candidates, Congress candidates. So the Congress is contesting from 3 seats in Delhi. Kanhaiya Kumar and in case of Kanhaiya Kumar, I have been busy. I was in Northeast Delhi recently last week, and I traveled across Northeast Delhi. So one thing is very evident if you go to Northeast Delhi now. It's been only 4 years. The area saw quite violent communal riots. You had 53 people losing their lives and hundreds getting injured, properties getting destroyed. So the scars are not healing that easily, that quickly. So that the scars are still there. The scars are still fresh. So that has caused a degree of polarization, and that appears to be helping the BJP. But at the same time, Manoj Tiwari as a candidate is not really popular. It's been 10 years that he's been representing the area, and he is facing some degree of anti-incumbency. But if he eventually manages to win the seat for the 3rd time, it will be due to the appeal of Prime Minister Modi. In case of Kanhaiya, obviously, the presence of a large minority vote bank is aiding him because he has this foundation ready in terms of, so he has 3 lakh odd votes ready. But and he has this appeal among the youngsters. He's talking about jobs. He's talking about improving the infrastructure condition of the area. Mind you, Northeast Delhi is India's densely populated district. Delhi's average population density is around 11,000. Now in Northeast Delhi is 36,000. So you can well imagine the condition of the infrastructure and other civic deficiencies. So he's trying to capitalize on those issues. He's trying to localize the elections. Of course, he also attacks Narendra Modi, but he's trying to localize the elections. He tried to, of course, the campaigning is over. So he tried to do that all through. So yeah, the verdict will be out on June 4. And in terms of other candidates, again, JP Agarwal, who's contesting from Chandni Chowk, he's been an MP 4 times from the city. He is popular. Age is not really on his side. He's 79. The person who's contesting against him from the BJP, Praveen Khandelwal, again, he's also rather popular among the traders, and he's younger. Both come from the same caste. They are Baniyas. So it's a side contest in Chandni Chowk as well. Yeah. Sushil ji, you can take over.
So there was another question by Mr. Ramesh Khanna, that what is the pulse in Haryana which way the wind is blowing. The stock market reaches skies every other day. Is the balloon going to burst on 4th June? So far as the pulse of Haryana, as I earlier said, that we are witnessing contests on all the 10 seats in Haryana. But again, Haryana, though it is a very small state, we have only 10 seats, but it can be divided into 6 different zones. We have Bagdi area, which is in Sirsa, Fatehabad, Hisar and Bhiwani, close to the Rajasthan border. It is called Bagdi area. And many of the chief ministers Haryana had in the past came from Bagdi area. Devilal, Om Prakash Chautala and Bansilal. They were all from Bagdi area. They were Bagdi Jats. Then there is Bangad area. Bangad area is Jind and Kaithal districts. Chaudhary Virender Singh is from Bangad area. So the temperament is different in all these areas. Then is Deswal area. This is Rohtak, Jhajjar and Sonipat. Bhupinder Singh Hooda is from Deswal area. Even Manohar Lal Khattar, he comes from Rohtak district. Then there is Khadar area, which is Panipat, Karnal and Kurukshetra. Ahirwal, which is Mahendragarh and Rewari, mostly Yadavs. And then Mewat area, no district. And last is Braj area, Palwal and Faridabad. Now, Jats living in Palwal, they basically they don't vote the way Jats from Deswal area or the Bangad area will vote, because they go largely with the UP area, because they are very close to Uttar Pradesh. So to say which way is wind blowing, it's a very tough answer, but it is a fact that in most of the seats in Haryana, there is a tough contest. Even Karnal, from where former Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar is contesting, there is a very, very tough contest. So there are several issues we have already discussed: farmers' agitation, wrestlers' agitation, Agniveer, anti-incumbency, every factor is there. So as far as this stocks rising in these days, so maybe people have taken Home Minister Amit Shah's advice very seriously, because he said that this is the time to buy. Though he said with a rider that I'm not an expert, but maybe people have taken that seriously and they have started buying. And that's the reason the stocks have gone up. Now, whether the balloon is going to burst after June 4 or the stock market is to reach new heights, we all have to see after the results.
Right. We have one question from Hiren Bafna. He asks, if the Congress does badly even this time, will there be a split or churning within the Congress? And he feels that BJP is going to lose 3 to 4 seats in Haryana, 2 seats in Punjab, 1 in Himachal. He wants to know if that is the case. Well, we don't really want to guesstimate or hazard a guess in terms of which party is going to get how many seats. But on your question on whether there might be a split in the Congress or there might be a churn within the Congress, of course there will be a churn within the Congress. There was a churn within the Congress even in 2019. We saw this flight of all the senior leaders. We saw the formation of G23. We saw these calls or demand to strengthen the party leadership, the party organizational structure. So all that happened. The churn is very much there, and the churn will be there if the Congress ends up performing badly this time as well. There's no doubt about it. And one more question from Mr. Kamal Mittal. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. The question is, what will be the prospective aspiring MPs do to ensure the security of future generations regarding global warming? the Delhi Master Plan 2047 does not have rules approved by the Delhi government that permit extra FAR for green certified buildings. So, no, Mr. Mittal, I have bad news for you. When it comes to global warming, when it comes to issues that matter, like air pollution, I'm standing in Vijay Chowk right now. And every winter we see Delhi getting shrouded with this gray haze. So there is very little when it comes to their manifestos or the discourse. I mean, it was entirely missing from their speeches, from their debates. In terms of manifestos, all these parties spoke about strengthening the national clean air program, which is already enforced, which aims to bring down the levels of PM10 and PM 2.5 in the city's air and across the country. So otherwise, nothing really. I mean, I'm not very. I mean, there's nothing home to write about when it comes to these parties raising issues that matter.
Yeah, hi Tim. I have one question. Like in this time, BJP are there means going the right way in their campaign. Uh, like they have done all
Specifically in Delhi or across the
across the
country?
country and also in Delhi. Like tomorrow is election in Delhi, so I am asking for Delhi also. Like they have done
Yeah.
everything right in their
I mean,
election campaign so far. Like we can see this time, like the India Alliance also, they have also a lot of points they are saying, and the BJP also saying, and we cannot so far really means decide means which side is going to have more followers. So yeah.
yeah, see, I began by saying BJP has a huge lead over the opposition in terms of numbers. So BJP won all the 7 seats last time with over 50% vote share. So even if you had combined the vote share of Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, it would not have exceeded the vote share of the BJP. So BJP has this huge advantage already. In terms
Yes.
of campaigning, how they perform this time, so they started by replacing 6 of their MPs. So the only MP they repeated is Manoj Tiwari from Northeast Delhi. So all the other MPs they have fielded this time for the first time. If not for the first time, I mean they haven't really repeated the sitting MPs. You have
Yes.
Bansuri Swaraj, for example, in New Delhi. Ramveer Singh Biduri from South Delhi, again, he is not a new face, but then he's contesting Lok Sabha elections after many years, and he, they replaced Ramesh Biduri, who was seen as this popular face especially among community. So yeah, I mean, in terms of campaigning, BJP is essentially banking on the appeal of Prime Minister Modi in Delhi. So they don't have state level leadership as such, and they haven't been able to breach the fort of the Aam Aadmi Party in the last in either in 2014 or 2015, and even before that, Congress won the city 3 consecutive times. Sheila Dikshit was the chief minister for 15 long years. The last time BJP was in power in 1998, and Sushma Swaraj was briefly the CM of Delhi. So it's all, I mean, they are dependent on Mr. Modi. Yeah. So this is my response is essentially on Delhi, since this episode is about Delhi and Haryana.
ओके थैंक यू मेरा बस सवाल ये दिल्ली हरियाणा के ऊपर नहीं है, जनरल लेवल पे कि, और ये सवाल ये है कि क्या ये इलेक्शन कुछ मायने, इस इलेक्शन में एक चीज जो दिखाई पड़ रही है उस इलेक्शन में इलेक्टोरेट की खामोशी है, एक चुप्पी है। ये इलेक्शन अपने आप में कई मायनों में 1977 जैसा है क्या? क्योंकि मैं उस वक्त 11 साल का लड़का था, पर मुझे जो याद है उस इलेक्शन का कि उस इलेक्शन की एक खामोशी थी, एक चुप्पी थी, और उसके बाद जो हुआ वो अपने आप में एक अर्थक्वेक था। तो ये इलेक्शन भी इस इलेक्शन में भी चुप्पी वैसे ही लग रही है।
राइट, तो 1977 में तो मैं नहीं था सर, आई वाज बोर्न इन 1991, सो आई कैन रियली कमेंट, यू आर एक्सपीरियंस्ड ऑन दैट फ्रंट। सो इस बार आई कैन ओनली कंपेयर दिस इलेक्शन टू से लास्ट टाइम 2019 इलेक्शंस में ज्यादा नॉइज इसलिए था, इट वाज इन द आफ्टरमाथ ऑफ द बालाकोट एयर स्ट्राइक, द पुलवामा अटैक, ऑफ कोर्स दैट gave the BJP a huge bump in terms of vote share. This time there is no such overarching theme for them, and उसलिए लग रहा होगा कि election इस बार थोड़ा silent है, and voters are generally silent in an election where is when in an election where there is no wave, voters tend to be silent. Elections where there is a wave, voters tend to be slightly more. I mean, they make themselves heard more. So which is why I think this election seems a little silent because we are comparing this election largely to 2019, and of course in 2014 again Narendra Modi was this new star on the horizon. So obviously उसलिए उसका भी एक अलग महत्व था.
नहीं, बस अगर मैं एक कमेंट और जोड़ सकता हूं, मैंने 77 का सिर्फ इसलिए बोला था कि अगर आप 77 और इस इलेक्शन दोनों को देखें, दोनों में जो रूलिंग डिस्पेंसेशन था, उनके बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग लीडर्स थे, और एक था कि एक माहौल था कि लोगों के अंदर लोग बहुत केयरफुल रहते थे कि वो क्या बोलेंगे क्या नहीं बोलेंगे, बट उनको जो करना था उन्होंने किया. तो क्या इस बार भी वैसी ही कोई चीज है?
राइट, वो तो सर अब we'll have to wait till June 4. साइलेंट क्यों है, मुझे जो लग रहा है साइलेंट इसलिए है. जी जी सुशील जी.
हाँ, see, 1977 was my first election as a voter. So at least I can say this is, I mean, there are no parallels between 1977 and 2024. And at least I can say that voters are not silent when we go to them, we go to villages, we speak to them, we hear both kind of voices. So it's not that it's, I mean, if we talk of 1977, there was, I mean, a group of leaders from different parties. Some came from Congress, some came from, say, some were socialists. Jagjeevan Ram came from Congress, and they formed another party, Janata Party. So there was a visible alternative, and which was basically people were expecting to uproot a government. So this is not that kind of an election at all.
Hi, so I'm Sridhar. First of all, thanks for inviting us all to this panel and also offering us a chance to ask certain questions. So it's not about just Delhi, Haryana. पहला सवाल जो है वो दिमाग में ये आ रहा है कि I was listening to a lot of interviews from Prashant Kishore, and I was also reading articles both by print and other news sites. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube. I started watching television news for the simple reason I somehow feel they are overtly biased on this side or that side. One question that was coming after listening to Mr. Prashant Kishore's analysis also was that in 2014, Mr. Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister, was the rising star. It was a hope. To 2019, there was a pride that the whole Pulwama thing, etc., and the way he kind of responded, all that, kind of worked like a magic tonic. 2024, there is some level, at some level, people are alluding. I mean, even when I was listening to Prashant Kishore's statement, he was saying that, now people are kind of, that magical effect of Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji is kind of waning. On your ground visits, did you feel anything like that? Is one question. I would like to, dig deeper into what one of the panelists recently, I'm sorry, sir, Your hand is raised. I can't recall your name, Vibhuti ji, or what is the name? I don't know. But the sign is there, V. So I wanted to ask that, he was, I think, asking about this whole thing of कि कोई bum फटने वाला है क्या? While yes, I do agree with you, Sushil ji, ki that this definitely has no parallels to the emergency scenario and Indira Gandhi post that. I was also a kid at that point in time, not eligible for voting, but politics was hugely discussed in and around my house. But do you think, and again, I'm going back to the question, do you think this whole thing of unemployment, all these things, is there a sense of, I'm not saying that it's yet reached an explosion point, but is there a simmering resentment amongst the youth that nothing concrete has been done or accomplished for us? Yes, there is the high of Ram Mandir and all those things. But finally, I mean, people do get down to practical levels of, bread and butter and employment opportunities. Are these issues, I mean, and you guys, I'm requesting you guys to give us a analysis, because you guys are not just, you're connected to your peers from not just your organization, but other places also. Doing reporting at this point of time, this point in time, and interacting with a lot of people across the country. What really is the mood? What is really happening at a ground level? Let's see. The fact is that will they come to power or not? I mean, you guys. I don't know why you guys do not want to put a number, but looks largely, and that's the way the campaign also started off. Looks largely like a foregone conclusion. It's a question of how much can the opposition really muster to be called an opposition. So I just want an answer to the first. Is Mr. Modi's magic waning? Is there a resentment that is building up?
See, when India was headed to the polls this time, say 6 months, 7 months, 8 months back, it seemed that the elections are a foregone conclusion. But as and when, as we inched ahead towards the election, towards the polling date, towards April, the opposition upped its game. Obviously, they got their game together, they got its act together. The parties were more coherent. They had seat sharing arrangements in place. They started campaigning jointly. Obviously, that had an effect. That had an effect in the discourse. Suddenly, it did not seem like a foregone conclusion. In terms of whether issues like lack of jobs or inflation, whether these issues have a resonance on the ground, yes, they do have a resonance. People talk about these are talking points, but I do not really know if we are sitting on a ticking bomb, whether this will lead to this change in regime. I don't really know. I can't really comment on that, because my travels were limited to Northeast. I've been to Manipur, I've been to Nagaland, I've been to Assam, certain parts of Assam, and Delhi. So yes, even in Delhi, these are talking points, particularly among young people who actually need jobs. Inflation is a talking point among women. Mahangai everywhere. Market is down. This is also a refrain. In Delhi's markets, you talk to anyone, market mein mandi hai. Market mein mandi hai is a refrain. But then that very person will quickly add that, mandi hai, that is not really Modi's job to address. Any party, even the Congress, had the Congress been in power today, it could not have addressed price rise. There was price rise even in their time. There was inflation even then. There were no jobs even then. So we can't really expect everything from Mr. Modi. He doesn't yield him, magic pill. So yeah, they do talk about these things, but some of them also add, they are not ready to pin the blame on Mr. Modi. And that is the sentiment across India, actually.
So who are they pinning the blame
if you
on?
would like to respond.
I'll like to add one thing
Yeah.
regarding the winning image for Modi, but I want to say that all 10 BJP candidates in Haryana, including Manohar Lal Khattar, they are seeking votes in the name of Modi and only Modi. So had that been the case, they wouldn't have, even when the BJP has replace their candidates. They have new faces in Delhi, in Haryana also. So that they are depending on Modi only.
So basically, what we are saying is that while there might be resentments on the ground, people are
May
convinced
not translate into
that
anti-government votes.
and people are convinced it's not really Mr. Modi's job to
हो गया?
I mean,
दोनों
not. I mean, we are a country of. I mean, we have 97 crore voters, so it's impossible to predict how many people are saying what.
नहीं आप
So,
predict मत कीजिए
these are
because I
very
know
small
that
samples.
I know that Print has a policy of not trying to play cephalogist or whatever the other words are over there. So you are not in that game. While I do see Mr. Yogendra Yadav veering to one side, but then I can understand that he has a vested interest in seeing what he would like to see, and that's a challenge with many of the liberals in this country. We have been wanting to see what we want to see, and we have not been largely ignoring the other voices.
I mean,
I
I
just
shared
wanted to
with you what I saw. Yeah, that's the sentiment on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the resentment is not really so big that it's going to kind of impact the result. Though, do you think? Okay, one more question. Sorry,
We don't
I'm
know.
adding 2 questions more over
Can
here.
I see here? See,
Yeah,
we have to appreciate the fact that we are living in a polarized world. So the same issue in Haryana, if you talk to a particular person who is from a particular caste, he'll react differently, and the other will react differently. The issue is same.
Fair enough. No, there was one thing as an observer, as a neutral observer, I felt that this time around, and I'm not talking about the alliances coming together and working out things. There were 2 things I've always felt where the opposition was going wrong. One thing that I was always feeling that the opposition was always going wrong was that they have been targeting a very in a nation where we get down to finally creating saints. हमारे यहाँ पे तो संत महात्मा बना देते हैं, तो मिस्टर मोदी जी तो बिल्कुल ही भगवान की तरह हैं इस समय. The man who can do no wrong, and he's next to God. This was the kind of cult worship even Indira Gandhi enjoyed in her heydays. I think one of the mistakes that, and this is over here, I'm offering an opinion of my own, so please bear with me. I believe that the opposition has gone wrong in trying to attack Mr. Modi in the past elections. But this election, what I've been observing is somewhere along the line, while yes, they continue to, it's probably a force of habit, they have also started attacking his policies, and they have tried to dig holes in it. Do you think that this slight shift, not a complete shift, but this slight shift is kind of making people listen to them a little bit more seriously than they were earlier? Because देखिए दूध का धुला तो कोई नहीं है. Politics is a game where everybody is corrupt. तो corruption तो हम ये जो कहते हैं कि corruption root out हो जाएगा, I don't believe in corruption being rooted out. In fact, being a developing country, I do believe कि 10% corruption चल रहा है तो ठीक है. इतना भी ना हो जाए कि काम ही बंद हो जाए, सिर्फ corruption ही चल रहा हो, या इतनी ज्यादा सख्ताई भी ना हो जाए कि काम ही ना हो corruption में ना फंसने के चक्कर में.
Rajiv, no, so the question is whether
The question is
the opposition has stopped attacking Mr. Modi.
Is it kind of I'm seeing a little bit of shift on actually digging out facts and trying to attack promises not delivered upon. Is
so
it kind of getting any traction, or is it
in
falling on deaf
2019,
ears?
obviously, in 2019, the campaign of our largest opposition party was Chaukidar Chor Hai. It was directly targeted at Mr. Modi. This time, there is no such campaign directed at only one individual, at him. So I think the opposition has paid heed to a lot of voices, to a lot of experts, to a lot of strategists. It doesn't, I mean, we should not really target someone who remains quite popular among the masses. So it would not pay you any dividend. So you try and localize the elections, talk about local issues, talk about bread and butter issues. I think that has happened to a large extent in many cases, in many constituencies, in case of many parties. They have adopted this strategy, not just the Congress, many other parties. And of course, people as a voter, I would like my leaders, I would like the discourse to be about issues that matter, that directly affects me, my life, my family. So that is natural. If that happens, I will obviously listen to them more intently.
As time goes
that
by,
has
will the
happened,
voter
of course.
become more and more transactional? What's in it for me? Will it
The
become
voter, I think, to some extent, we'll see. I mean, our vote, the Indian electorate in certain sections of our society has turned transactional. The parties have spotted that, which is why you see them giving freebies, giving certain, coming up with pups. These are all transactional relations parties are trying to establish with voters. You give me vote, I'll give you this. Modi's guarantee, Kejriwal's guarantee. These are all transactional promises.
And why do you think there is a low voter turnout this year, this election campaign?
Very, very difficult to predict. When it happened in the first phase, people blamed the heat, but then there were numbers was on. I mean, there was no correlation between heat and a dip in numbers. That was not the case in every constituency or every state. So we don't really know. We don't really know. Let's see what happens. I mean, if Delhi comes out and votes in large numbers tomorrow, unlike Bombay, let's see.
Thanks a lot. Hope to hear from you guys post the results.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sushilji.
So yeah, we have one more,
Similar
question on how do you see the voter turnout tomorrow from Sagar Agarwal. So, I mean, it's difficult to predict. We are going through a heat wave. That is a big factor, of course. And Delhiites, Delhiites who are affluent to go on large vacations, they might treat it as a long weekend. If that happens, in certain parts of Delhi, in certain parts of affluent Delhi, you might see a dip in voter turnout, but that may not be the case everywhere. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow. All right, I think time to wrap up. Thank you all of you for joining and listening to me patiently, listening to Sushilji patiently, and of course we'll have more such sessions going ahead, and continue to follow our work, our YouTube channel, our Instagram channel, our website.